Destiny Payton's dating life has recently taken a very unexpected turn, and it is raising questions and curiosity across social media. The latest revelations about the men she is meeting and getting to know have caused a lot of discussion, especially regarding her reaction to dating someone with a polygamous past. This is not just gossip. It gives insight into how Destiny is thinking and what her priorities are in relationships now. She is coming off a very public divorce, and her approach to love and partnership has clearly changed. In the latest digital exclusive, Destiny revealed that she went on a date with a man who was very upfront about his past. He did not hide anything. He admitted that he had been in a polygamous relationship before. This is a lifestyle choice that completely changes how someone views commitment and partnership. Destiny's reaction to this information was very interesting. She acknowledged his honesty, but immediately set a clear boundary. She made it very clear that polygamy is not something she would accept or be a part of. She wants a traditional, one-on-one connection, and she is not interested in the modern trend of open relationships or sharing a partner. Her friends Kimmy and Tisha were present during the discussion. They joked about how the public has often assumed that people in Destiny's circle might be open to non-traditional arrangements. However, Destiny did not let that assumption influence her. She referred to what she called a transparency paper, meaning that even though someone is being honest about their past, that does not automatically give them permission to bring that past lifestyle into her present life. She was firm about the fact that she will not compromise on her values for anyone, no matter how charming or transparent they are. What makes the situation even more complex is how Destiny thinks about a man's past experiences. She expressed that she prefers a man who has already been there and done that. Her reasoning is that a man who has already lived a full life, including dating multiple people or even living in a polygamous household, is more likely to settle down because he knows what he wants and does not need to seek experiences elsewhere. She compared this to her past observations of men like Martel and Maurice, explaining that when a man has gone through multiple seasons of dating, partying, or living freely, he eventually reaches a stage where he is ready to be faithful and committed. This perspective is both interesting and controversial, but it shows how deliberate Destiny is in her approach to relationships. At the same time, Kimmy shared her own experiences to provide a counterpoint. Kimmy and Maurice had a marriage that started from a strong friendship. Maurice had been completely honest with Kimmy about his past relationships and experiences. While this transparency initially felt reassuring, Kimmy later realized that knowing too much about a man's past can create friction in a marriage. Years later, those stories still occasionally caused tension, and they even required counseling to work through. This highlights a real dilemma for Destiny. She wants honesty and experience in a man, but too much information can also bring unnecessary stress into a relationship. Destiny has to navigate a delicate balance. On one hand, she wants a man who is seasoned and experienced, so she knows he is likely capable of commitment. On the other hand, knowing too many details about a man's past can create doubt or unease. The recent man she dated told her about his polygamous past, which is a huge point to consider. Destiny believes she can handle the truth, but living with that information may be more challenging than simply hearing it on a first date. She is trying to build a friendship first, which she sees as the healthiest way to approach dating, but she is realizing that deep honesty, even in a friendship, can be hard to process when romance enters the picture. Another important point is Destiny's current dating strategy. She is no longer focused on rushing into a serious relationship. She is actively engaging with multiple potential partners at the same time. This is a big shift from her previous behavior, where she was focused on her family unit and her marriage. By dating several people simultaneously, she is reclaiming her power and control. She is vetting each man carefully, listening to their stories, and observing their behaviors before deciding whether they fit into her life. She is not letting anyone pressure her into commitment or make her feel obligated to accept their past just because they're being honest. The dynamics between Destiny, Kimmy, and Tisha during this conversation highlight the differences in their life experiences. Kimmy is the voice of caution, based on her own journey in marriage. She knows the complications that can arise when a partner's past is fully revealed. Tisha brings humor and levity, but also reminds them of public perception and rumors. Destiny is in the middle, actively learning and making decisions for herself. This shows that dating today, especially in the public eye, is about more than chemistry. It is about understanding past behavior, setting boundaries, and protecting one's peace. Polygamy coming up in conversation is significant because it's not just about dating, it's about lifestyle and long-term compatibility. Destiny has been very clear that even if this trend is becoming more common, it is not her trend. She is committed to a traditional relationship where she and her partner are fully committed to each other. The man she dated might be transparent and honest, but she is not letting that transparency override her comfort and boundaries. She wants to know that a man can be faithful and committed before she invests emotionally. Destiny also considers the psychology behind why a man would admit to polygamy on a first date. It could be a bold move to test her limits, or it could indicate genuine growth and self-awareness. Destiny is choosing to believe the latter, that he has grown, is finished with that lifestyle, and can commit fully. Even so, she remains cautious because honesty in the past does not guarantee behavior in the future. Her friend's input reminds her that men who are transparent can sometimes unintentionally create stress or doubt, and that knowledge can linger for years. This insight into Destiny's dating life shows how strong and discerning she is becoming. She is not being fooled by charm or honesty alone. She is using information about a man's past to make careful, informed decisions. She wants a man who has lived, learned, and is ready for a serious commitment. She will not compromise her values for anyone, regardless of how transparent or charming he is. Destiny's approach is methodical. She is focused on friendship first, understanding that a strong foundation is necessary for a healthy romantic relationship. She is also mindful of public perception and the rumors that can follow her choices. This awareness helps her navigate dating in a way that prioritizes her peace and emotional safety. Another aspect of the situation is Destiny's empowerment. By dating multiple men, she is reclaiming control over her life. She is no longer rushing into anything. She is keeping her heart protected and ensuring that the men she invests in meet her standards. This approach is both cautious and confident. It allows her to experience connection and chemistry while maintaining boundaries and clarity. The conversation about polygamy is particularly revealing. Destiny understands that past behavior can indicate patterns, but she also knows that it is possible for someone to change. She is evaluating men not just based on what they say, but on what they do, how they present themselves, and how aligned they are with her values. She wants to ensure that she is choosing a partner who respects her, is committed, and shares her vision for a one-on-one relationship. Kimmy's story serves as a cautionary tale. Knowing too much about a partner's past can be a burden, even if it is shared honestly. The tension it creates can linger for years, impacting trust and peace. Destiny is learning from this while still honoring her own need for transparency and honesty. She is finding a balance between understanding a man's past and maintaining her own emotional well-being. Destiny's decision-making process shows growth. She is no longer willing to settle for less than what she wants. She is willing to hear the truth, but she will not let that truth compromise her values. She is actively learning how to navigate the modern dating world, which includes unconventional lifestyles like polygamy, and deciding what she is and is not willing to accept. The polygamy discussion also highlights a larger cultural shift in dating. More people are upfront about wanting multiple partners or non-traditional relationships. Destiny is standing firm against that trend. She is making it clear that her standards are non-negotiable and that honesty does not override her own boundaries. Her approach to dating also reflects strategic thinking. She wants men who are experienced but settled, who have lived freely but are ready to commit. She wants transparency but not at the cost of peace. She wants honesty but not drama. By setting clear standards, she is filtering out those who are not aligned with her values. Destiny's process also demonstrates emotional intelligence. She is aware of the challenges that come with knowing too much about a partner's past. She is mindful of how this information can influence perception and behavior. She is taking steps to protect herself while still being open to new experiences. In conclusion, Destiny's navigation of dating after her divorce shows her strength, maturity, and self-awareness. She is confident in her boundaries, clear about what she wants, and careful about who she allows into her life. She is using transparency, experience, and honesty as tools to evaluate potential partners, while ensuring that her peace and values are never compromised. Her approach to dating shows her strength, maturity, and self-awareness. She is standing firm, prioritizing her peace, and making sure that any relationship she allows into her life is built on respect, honesty, and alignment with her values. This journey highlights that true empowerment comes from knowing what you want, setting boundaries, and being willing to walk away from anything that does not meet your standards.